We are getting ready to install the heater in my shop. This is a Comfort Zone industrial 5,000 watt ceiling mount heater. Fan, forced air ceiling mount heater. But this is going to mount up in that corner behind me. You can actually see right over here where the plug-in is at. I went down to Lowe's and picked up a pigtail that I think is the right one. But we need to get this out of the box and get it mounted on the ceiling. And then we'll figure out the wiring once we get it mounted. It did come with some mounting hardware. So that's kind of nice, some lag bolts and some washers. You got the mounting bracket itself. I have to say, at first appearances, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the appearance of it overall. I kind of like so the picture shows the fan blades are white, or the baffle blades, but these are actually, I don't know, brownish, blackish finish. It has 4,000, 3,000, and 5,000 watt settings on the switch. The thermostat knob here for off, low, high. It's a power light and a caution overheat light. It feels pretty robust. I mean, it's a smaller unit, but most of the reviews I read were pretty favorable for it. So we have a couple of knockouts over here on this side. You can see the indentations here. Looks like this is the 3/4, so that's the size I'll be using. The wire is going to come in. It's going to go into this little strap, which is kind of nice. Hold it in place. Got a grounding screw here. It looks like we have 2 terminals. So the thermostat's the only question at this point, is how I'm going to wire up that thermostat. So ground, hot, hot. Okay, that's real basic for 220, no problems there. So it looks like I'm going to be able to mount this with one single bolt into a joist right through the center of the bracket. I got my 3/4 inch adapter. Which goes in the 3/4 inch hole right here. So we can pop that out. These work amazingly well. These are for these penetration adapters. This is a dryer cord, however, it fits my style of plug-in. And it did come with this chintzy style adapter, which you could use and it meets code. I'm just not a big fan of these. If you've ever done one of these, you know what I'm talking about. I just throw that crap away and I put one of these in because I like them. They're a lot more sturdy. So I'm gonna just snug this up because what I'm gonna end up doing is trimming the excess cord down once I figure out where it's gonna plug into the wall so that I don't have a lot of extra cord up in my ceiling looking funny. So this is the plug-in, 220. This is a dryer style plug-in, which is the pigtail I bought. This is the cord that runs from this panel down to my door over there. This is the light gauge cable for a switch control. We'll get to this later on. I gotta go figure out what I'm gonna do about this. In the meantime, we're gonna get the bracket mounted and we gotta find the stud to do that. There's 2 size knobs on here. The first knob is the primary one that holds the weight. The other knob, the smaller knob, is the one that allows you to angle the heater. So there's 3 positions. There's straight up and down, and then I'd call that maybe 25 degrees, and then there looks to me to be about 45 degrees. This would be more if you were over the top of a workbench, I would think. So we're gonna kick it to about 25 degrees. And plug in right there. Whew, okay. I'm out from behind it. So you can see all this extra dangling cord. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen that up, open up the bottom of this thing, pull this thing in. So we want about that much. All right, so we have our extra neutral, which we don't need. We have our two hots, our black and our red, and we have our green, which is our ground. Our green is going to go to this ground screw right here, and then our two hots will go into these two terminals, which happen to be flathead screwdriver bits. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the breaker on and see what happens. Well, I hope you guys saw the light come on. So the power light just came on. We're on 5,000. Now we're in the middle. Now we're back on there. It's all the way off. So when I turn it on, it's blowing warm air, that's for sure. Okay, so it is blowing warm air. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug it for a second so I can bolt the cover back up. Well, as you can see, I have my space heater right here. Just got that up there, pretty happy with it, looks good. It's physically a little bit smaller than I thought it would be. However, I think it's gonna do the job, right? So that's up to a 5,000 watt and there's 3 settings. And it just tripped off. It's actually pretty warm in here. I mean, I have a t-shirt on, it's high 40s outside. It's very, very workable temperature in here. I've maintained it at this temperature with these little space heaters. This thing's only 1,500 watts. So I've been using 2 of those to keep my garage warm. And hopefully, I just unplugged it for the last time. Now that heater has a thermostat built into it, so that is what I'm going to use. So I've had that heater installed for a few days now, but I came in here to do some more filming, and it's just cold enough that I would be uncomfortable without a sweatshirt. So I'm gonna go ahead and crank it up just a little bit more. For right now, this small 5,000 watt heater is doing a decent job of keeping the garage warm. I'm gonna crank it up just a little bit more so it kicks on a little more frequently, and hopefully that'll take care of the problem. That is the 5,000 watt heater from Comfort Zone. Check out the description. There will be a link to that. I don't have the remote thermostat set up. I'm just using thermostat built into the heater itself, and then I have my 30 amp breaker inside my panel if I need to turn it off for some reason. In my shop, it's a 32 by 28 with 12-foot ceilings. Very well insulated. Garage doors are all insulated, ceiling, attics, all that's really well insulated. This 5,000 watt heater is more than adequate. I wouldn't recommend this small of a heater for someone that doesn't have an insulated shop, but if you have an insulated shop, this is definitely a really good way to go. It's not too expensive. Check out that link, it'll give you the price on Amazon. I got 2-day shipping, so it showed up really quickly, and it was incredibly easy to install. I did do the pre-wiring for 220 breaker, and we put a plug, right? So I went down to Home Depot, and I picked up the pigtail adapter in order to wire into that to plug into the wall. I'm a big fan of those. I don't like hard wiring stuff, because if you need to work on it later, it just makes life a little more challenging. If there's a takeaway from this, think ahead, figure out where the heater needs to be, run the wires if you can, insulate well, it'll save you comfort in the long run, and consider the right size heater. Don't overkill it because you don't need to spend that much money, and make sure that the size of heater, the wattage for electric at least, is the right size for the shop that you're trying to heat up. I'm really happy with this one. As you saw a few minutes ago, I did adjust the thermostat slightly and it's still below the low mark. But overall, this one's gonna work out really well for me. I'm very confident in that. In any case, maybe check out some of these other links. I'll have the rest of my garage build over here. The tractor series that I did last summer, my brother's house build, and definitely hit that subscribe button. It always helps me out in the long run. And I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you got something out of this.